Right. So the purpose of this video is to real quick explain to you the recruiter side of things of Talent Atrium. We've also got a fuller, longer tutorial video available on going into much more detail in terms of the recruiter side of things. So if this is too short and too quick, you're more than welcome to go have a look at it there. But the purpose of this is just to quickly run you through everything. So starting with your recruiter side of things, you're going to go to your recruiter and then either sign up or sign in as a new recruiter. And then once you do that, I've already signed up. It lands you right into your active listings pane. And here is where the real purpose from a recruiter's perspective is where the platform genuinely comes alive. If I quickly drop down to this vacancy here, in South Africa or other economies where you have a vast, where demand vastly outstrips supplies, I should imagine that you'll see 100, 200, 300 applications here. That certainly has been my experience with the recruiters that I've worked with. And even though we've only got 2 here, the purpose that what I'm trying to show you here is that imagine you've got a regular vacancy, 200 applicants, and now you've got to work through every single one of them. You've got to look through your CVs, you've got to download it, you've got to print it. There's a whole thing attached to it. What this does here is it automatically ranks the people from best to worst in terms of how their profile matches with the vacancy that you placed. And don't be too alarmed. These people are not real. They have been generated automatically by ChatGPT, and so is all of their data. So you've got 200 listing, you've got 200 applicants here, and instead of downloading every single person's thing, going through them, I mean, you can quickly do the math for yourself. It's going to take 30 seconds to a minute to go through that for just each and every single individual, and you cannot skip that process. You have to go through it. That's quickly 200, 300 people. That's a very quick 3, 4, 5 hour job just doing that. What Talent Atrium seeks to make more efficient is eliminate that recruiter fatigue. So yes, you will still get your 200 applicants all here, but in this instance, we've got a data capture clerk, which has a certain set of skills or requirements in order to fulfill this role. So when somebody who's a shelf stacker comes and applies for this job, they will probably not score as well as this. Similarly, a person who's a CEO or a senior manager will probably also not score as well as this because they are vastly overqualified. The platform doesn't seek to discriminate or eliminate against any one particular role, skill set, etc., or qualification, or whatever. It seeks to match the most relevant candidates with the vacancy that the recruiter has listed. So what this means for a recruiter is that they can quickly come and go, right, this person here, click on their profile. They will quickly see their summary, their strengths, their gaps, their full report, their sort of practical details, and depending on what the candidate chooses to complete, there will be more or less details here, their compatibility score, and it runs you down through everything here real quick, and that is your full report. So now instead of going download, I don't know if people still print these days, but if you print and do all those kinds of things, you can quite literally just go, yep, I like this person, no, I do not like this person, and then shortlist and reject. And as we said previously, that our main aim here is to ensure that there's effective communication between us, between the recruiter and the applicant at any and all time. The minute you close this application, it will then send an automated message or mail to the candidate, whether they've been shortlisted or rejected, but at least there's a closed loop in terms of getting feedback from a candidate's perspective. So the main purpose here, or the main aim here, is to save the recruiter time, to be more efficient, to eliminate that recruiter fatigue. As I've said, you've got 500, 300, however many applications. It's going to take some time, and it does not include, or the theoretical time it takes does not include, fatigue, bathroom breaks, stopping at 12 a.m. because you're too tired to continue, smoke breaks, these kinds of stuff. I mean, it ends up taking a lot of your time, and specifically when you're a single recruiter or a one-person operation, that can take a large chunk of your time, given that you probably have other responsibilities and requirements to fulfill. That's your active listings. Close and draft and add new listings. These are very straightforward. I will quickly just go to adding a listing. What I've done here is fill a form description. This person has got no more fee requirements, but basically what the purpose of this bit here is that they can come in, drop in a bunch of unstructured data as per the client requirement, and what it'll do is it'll just extract everything naturally for them into their description into their job listing vacancy, and then they can just go ahead and list it. One of the core things around the whole purpose of this platform is you also get to, it's a minimum requirement to fill in at least one of these behavioral assessments. Level 1, as you can see here, is for entry level and early career candidates, versus level 6 being for C-suite, VP, etc., etc. And the purpose of this is for any one candidate to complete as many as many as they like, but also for as many as you require in terms of the role, so that helps us submit and score their profile against your vacancy. And then finally, candidate pool. What we can do here with the candidate pool is, if I'm recruiter A and recruiter B on the other side of the world, or wherever this platform is also available, the pair of us load up two completely different vacancies, and both of us switch candidate pool on. That means I have access to their candidate pool who applied for that vacancy, and vice versa, just so that it becomes a bit more of a collaborative a mechanism, so that when potential candidates that applied for that vacancy maybe not as well aligned there, but maybe they align more than me, then I get to have access to those just in case, and vice versa. It really is just a collaborative feature that I thought would be great for serving candidates. And then once you've done that, or anybody who's applied for vacancies inside of your network will then appear here. These are your available candidates, and you can quickly have a view of their deal there, and you can also download their CV from here. Credits and billing is pretty much fairly straightforward, depending on what plan you are. You will get your credits and billing here, and now would be a good time to just quickly explain to you the rapid match feature, which will be a premium feature. If we go back to our active listings and we look at any one of these, and let's say for sake of example, you are under crunch time to match or to fill a position, then you can use what is called rapid match. Now, literally what rapid match does is it looks at your vacancy requirements, it looks at all of your available candidates, and it just matches them. So let's say you've got 500 available candidates, but you've only got one applicant here. Then what rapid match is going to do, depending on the filters that you apply, it's then going to fill up this with all the candidates available to according to your filters, and obviously automatically rank them as well. And it gives you that opportunity to immediately consider all the candidates available to you against this position, and to shortlist quicker and more efficiently when client is on your case about filling a vacancy. And then finally, give feedback. This is purely just this has been a platform that I created specifically for two sides of this coin here, but I can only make it better. We can only make it better if you let us know what's working, what's not working, etc., etc. This is a platform to help people, and to not just look at one side of the coin, not just for recruiters, not just for candidates, but for everybody. So if there's anything that we can change, adapt, upgrade, whatever, let us know. This can only be made better by your participation. And that really is the quick run through of the recruiter side of things of Talent Atrium. Thank you much for making it this far into the video. Like I said, if there's any questions or anything at all, please go and watch the full longer tutorial side of things. But yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.